another episode of Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast. Today's guest is a powerhouse when it comes to building brands with purpose and heart. Heather Fiehl is a branding and marketing specialist dedicated to helping women create powerful personal brands and global online businesses through attraction-based marketing strategies that feel aligned and authentic. She's also an international best-selling author of Build, Engage, Sell, and was the #1 sales consultant for a major beauty brand, now sold at Sephora. Heather knows what it takes to rise, connect, and convert, all while staying true to your mission. At the core of her work is a passion for helping women share their stories because she believes every story has the power to inspire, heal, and create impact. Somebody out there needs to hear yours. And today we're diving into how to own your voice, ignite your brand power, and build a business that reflects the real you. So get ready to be inspired in today's episode. So welcome, Heather. Welcome to the
Thank-
show.
Oh my goodness, girl. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and honored on your podcast. I have been waiting for this. Amazing. So thank you.
No, I'm truly so honored to have you here and to pick a little bit about your brain and listen to your story. So let's start with your story. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur and eventually start Build Your Own Brand Academy?
Well, that's a loaded question. I had,
Let's
I
just
had
get
no
into it.
idea. I had no idea that I would be doing what I'm doing when I first started. When I said yes to entrepreneurship, I'm like, I had no idea. So my kids were young. I wanted to stay home. You know the story. I don't want to, work for anybody. I want to be for myself. So we figured it out. And I became interested in selling really, really early, or the magic of selling, or and people. And so early on, I dove into network marketing and I loved it and I did really, really well. And I found myself teaching more than I was selling. So I would onboard a lot of people and I would sell a lot of product, but I also loved showing and sharing. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. Then I became a certified home stager. So I was working with realtors to sell homes. And I had my business for 7 years, which took a lot out of me. You have a warehouse of product and etc. And it got to be dog eat dog world with the realtors. And I said, I'm here for the home seller. I want to help the home seller make more money. So I put all of my efforts in helping the home seller create more money. And the realtors didn't like that. I would revamp, I would reuse, and I would redo, like change rooms up a little bit, take out some furniture, add a couple of props and differently. And the realtor wanted to make more money or to have a bigger commission, and the homeowners didn't like that. So it started becoming a dog eat dog world. So I sold my business after 7 years. I got out. I just said, I'm done. I just left it. I really just left it there on the table. And then for me, it continued into entrepreneurship. I traveled the world. I lived in multiple countries. Um, and I think it was my love for people, Kathy, that I just came back to network marketing. And then I came online, and here I am 17 years later online.
Oh my gosh, time flies, right? That's so
Yes, yes.
inspiring, though. It's so beautiful how your story led you to where you're supposed to be, and that you were able to find some hardships along the way, but it led you into where you're supposed to be, helping women step into their brand power
Mhm.
and like to help women especially, which is so beautiful. I know you don't only help women, but I guess
Right.
that's who you mostly attract.
Mostly I interact with, absolutely. So her, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so what does building your own brand truly mean to you beyond the logo and visuals?
So building your own brand is about you. It's about empowering you to stand up, be counted, and be seen and heard. Unfiltered, just be you. So it's really important to draw that line in the sand when you are on social media, because it's a chaotic, messy place. It can be frustrating. It can be daunting at times. There's so many things we got to do, look at. Content is flying left, right, and center. And people have that squirrely attitude. They got to go here, they got to go do this, they got to do this. So in actual fact, what I teach and showcase with my clients is build your own brand and they will come. Just be you, be heart-centered and mindful of who you are, what you do, and what you want to put out in the world as a lasting first impression. And you mentioned story, Kathy. So your story is a unique part of that. And I always begin with that when I'm working with my students, is that your brand story, who you are, where you were, where you are, and where you want to go is so important. And yet, Kathy, a lot of women feel that they don't have a story. And so they
Mm.
find it hard to share. Or they say, oh, I don't have a story. Yeah, you do. You do have a story. And it's time you stood up and shared your story. But that's a difficult part of the piece for many, many people I work with.
That's so interesting. So I know I have a story. I think my piece is how do I showcase who I am? I guess because as a heart-centered person, it's never really about you. It's about, everybody else you help out. And so
Right.
that's a piece where I struggle is, yeah, how do I just be me or showcase that? Which I
Yeah.
guess should be straightforward, but in a sense, it's not straightforward.
Well, and that's exactly why I shared that because so many people I start working with, they're like, what do you mean a story? So your story is, you are made up of so much energy and you have something that has brought you here. What's your fire? Like, what is your soul purpose? Like, why do you want to do what you're doing? Like, what do you want to be remembered for? What kind of legacy do you want to build for you or for your others? For others, it doesn't have to be for anybody. It can be solely for you. Your intentions, your mission, your vision, your like everything that you embody. Why is it important? Or why should you not share that with the world and be counted? Why do you want to be silent? And if you are here for a reason and you have something to share and to teach, your story is part of that because there's somebody somewhere waiting to hear that so that they can be inspired.
Yeah, and this is why, thank you for sharing that, by the way, but this is why I love having guests come on to share their story because I think it's one of the biggest, most helpful tools to really get inspired. And that's
Mhm.
what got me going on to my journey with finding my life purpose and going through infertility. I just like listened to other people's stories. And I'm like, hey, they did that. Let me try it out. Like, why, if they
Exactly.
did it, why can't I do it? So
Right. So
I
you were inspired by that. And so by someone's story, so then you started digging deeper in what your mission and what your vision could be and then set on fire from that. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Yeah, you really help people take their stories and then make it a brand and evolve it into their business, which is so beautiful. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love your work. Yeah,
Thank you.
that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
It's really empowering. And the time I get to spend with so many women listening to them say, I don't have a story, to blossoming into this unforgettable brand boss who is just so empowering and moving mountains and just really impacting so many other people is mind blowing. How that can happen when you just stay true to who you are and just keep doing that because the right people, Kathy, they will always find you. They will find your message. They will find your voice. They will find your tone. They will find your work.
True. And if you don't put yourself out there, they won't be able to find you.
That's right. Yeah. So your
Wow.
story is a must.
Yeah, I love that so much. So, what would you say to women who feel like they don't have anything special to offer or struggle with self-worth in their business?
That they are so wrong, that they just haven't taken time or they haven't sat with themselves long enough. They just haven't sat and really figured out, okay, who am I really? Like, what do I want to do? What is my purpose? And is my purpose of value? Yes. And it should always be a yes. It might not always be clear, Kathy. It might be a little foggy and dense at times, but it's all figure outable. We can always figure it out. Passion and purpose, drive and consistency, anything is possible.
That's so true. And it's more helpful to have somebody along with you on that ride than doing it on yourself, you know?
Being alone is scary and daunting. And that's exactly where people fall, right? People
True.
stop doing. They have this mission and this vision, Kathy, and they have this story that they're eager to get out and they want to be relatable and they want to start a home business or do something. And it's like, but I don't know how. I'm
Yeah.
not getting the help. I feel so lonely. I feel intimidated. And then fear crosses their mind and self-doubt and all of these other things. it's sometimes really hard for many, many women and men, I work mostly with women, to override that and overcome that alone in specifically.
Yeah. And plus, you have so much knowledge. You have so many years of experience. And, working with you is different where you truly care about your clients too. Because
Mhm.
I've done some coaching programs and there are, coaches that don't care as much as they tried to
Right.
portray. So,
Aw.
and I could tell that you really truly care about your clients and just people around you. Like your energy is so amazing and so kind and beautiful. And I could just feel
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I have found my home. I have found my passion. And I like you asked me at the very beginning, I had no idea I would be sitting here 17 years later doing this, offering this and sharing this with other women and inspiring them to go on to do big things, even when they have when their mindset is not right, when they have no vision, when they have no purpose, and they don't know their true identity and story. So it's day by day, step by step that we unravel that. And so what I do is I immerse myself into their brand. I'm on a journey and they're on a journey and you're on a journey. So what I do is I immerse myself into their brand, into their niche, into their circumstances and what they want. And then we uncover the path for them.
Ooh. Yeah. Would you like to share a success story that you have with a client? Because you have a really good one, and I love it so much, where she, was struggling and then you helped her make like a big business, and it's just so beautiful.
This one gal was really, really struggling, and she had had different mentorship before. And I was teaching in a network marketing community in a company, and she came in once, came in twice, came in a third time. And I put her on the spot and I asked her a couple of questions and she was really hesitant, beautiful soul, and she was really hesitant. And just a couple of days later, she had gotten so much information and value from me, and she was very quiet and very attentive. A couple of days later, she called me. We had a coffee chat, and the rest was history. She went on to do incredible things and just really moved mountains in her network marketing business. She also opened up her own wellness center and has invited other women to participate in her wellness center at a high level, offering Reiki and massage and her network marketing products. Incredible. And it's just now we're waiting. It's time for a book. So yeah, that's a huge, huge. It was just amazing to see her blossom into this. Now it wasn't overnight, for the first 3, 4 months, it was the undoubt and the self-doubt and the blurriness or the fears and everything that we get. But once she kicked it into high gear, it was no stopping. Everything we did was um, to one goal, to
Yeah.
brand her and to help and for her to help her and a future audience who were watching her.
That's so beautiful. And you said that she had like different ideas, but you were able to make it cohesive and work together and to make
Yeah.
it such a big thing, I think, which
Well,
is,
she had different ideas, Kathy. She had a program she had, and she had been working on it, and it was really, really a great program. And I kind of took it apart, and I said, "This is too much, too early, too soon." So we needed to go slower. We needed to break it up into smaller, bite-sized chunks and make it an easier delivery process for her audience in bite-sized pieces. And we needed to build her brand. She needed to build the know, like, and trust because she had only 400 people on her page.
yeah.
So, and she was able to do this with this over time. So it's a remarkable story, and we are such good friends, and she is learning so much more each and every day as we continue. It's amazing.
Amazing. I love that. And I love how you can give people that clarity. I think
Mhm.
branding too can be a scary thing when you're starting entrepreneurship because branding, everybody's like branding, like this is you and, logo, whatever it may be. And it
Yeah.
kind of gives new entrepreneurs for me, it gave me a little bit of anxiety because I was like, oh my gosh, like the logo has to be right and
Right.
etc. But it doesn't really matter, right? It's truly who
No,
the essence of you is, which you help with bringing out the
right.
story, bringing out who they are. And then once you understand them, you help them make the branding, the colors, or whatever it may be to like create it into a business and a successful business.
Right. So branding is not the logo or
Oh.
the colors or the fonts that you use or that, that website. It's not. It's you. And it encompasses you and everything that I've said. Your vision and everything, your integrity, your honesty, your clarity, your voice, where you want to go, why you want to, and why should someone trust you? You need to show up and share that over and over and over again in your content, in your messaging, in your dialogue, in your tone, right? Because some people will be attracted to you and others won't, and that's fine. They're not your people. They're just not your people, and that's okay. So branding is all about you and nothing about your product or your company.
I love that because as a new entrepreneur, that's what you think. It's like your products, it's like everything else but you,
Right.
right?
No, no.
I
It's
love that.
take this. This is what I share with my students when I'm teaching is that you're on a busy street corner, okay? And it's an intersection, and you've got McDonald's on one corner, you've got Burger King on the other, and you have two gas stations kitty corner from each other. That's why they're there. They will attract the right audience. Some people will go into McDonald's, some people will go into Burger King, or
Mm,
some people will go into Starbucks, or other ones will go into their local coffee shop. You see, so you want to be at a busy corner because that's where people are. It's just your brand and your messaging. If it's clear, you will attract the right people through your door.
that's really good. Thank you for sharing that. I really
Welcome.
love that analogy. That makes a lot of sense because they're both, I mean, Burger King and McDonald's is selling the same, similar things,
That's what I'm
similar,
saying.
but
Right.
they still
Right.
have their own thing.
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
That is really good. I love that. See, you're so knowledgeable. This is amazing. All right, let's dive into your book. What inspired you to actually
Oh,
write Coffee Chats, Build, Engage, Sell, which became a #1 bestseller? How amazing is that?
thank you. Yeah. Well, that was another surprise. I wrote the book as just something, it was something on my bucket list I wanted to do. And I thought about it and I thought about it, didn't think about it for too long, probably 2 or 3 years, which is really not that long. But I got busy with coaching and building up my coaching business. And I said, enough is enough. So I'm a rebel. And I didn't like the way things were presented to me in my network marketing career. And I didn't want to build the hundreds list. I didn't want to do that. It just went against everything I believed in because I knew I knew that your brand was more than your product. And I said, well, you got to build the audience so that you can engage with them so that you can potentially sell to them. So I'm like, I got it. Build, engage, sell. It's a perfect name. And that's how it was born. And I broke it into those three different topics in the book.
Yeah, and I know you really base it on organic marketing and
Yes.
not cold sell. So
No.
why is that so important?
Because I think everything is more fluid with conversation. Cold marketing is tough. It's not that it's not done, it's just tough to be done. And you need to understand how to approach people, your cold market, your warm market, or your hot market. So everybody thinks that it's always the same, or because here's the truth, Kathy, we burn out of our warm market faster than our cold market. We only have so many sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles. So that's your warm market,
Ah,
right? Your warm market, people who know you already. Your cold
mm,
market is the rest of the world you don't know.
mm,
And everybody is a stranger until you say hi.
mm,
After they are a stranger, it's game on. So
mm, mm.
I wanted to write the book and share with others that if you can build the right audience of people who are really like-minded like you are, your conversations are easier. And don't we want to have easier conversations
Yeah.
than harder ones? So then after you've built up this audience and this, you've done, you've put in time, energy into this, then you need to properly engage with them. That's the next nurturing sequence. And you and I have talked many times about that. So we want to nurture and love on them. And what do we do? And how do we do that? And how do we continue to foster the love and build on a relationship? What is needed? And then when we feel that we've done a great job and all of the things, then we can pop the question. Then we can say, hey, I have, and then you go into your selling mode or your selling sequences that everyone does differently. So for me, I needed to clarify that. And it makes a lot of sense. And I've gotten so much good feedback on it. So I know some of the books are in the plane right now. So I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great little tool and it fits in your purse. And I just wanted it to be a small tool that everybody can have.
That's amazing. And how did this thought just come about? You're just like, have you always been a writer, or you just was like, nope, I have this passion, this thought, and I'm just gonna write it down?
Well, I'm an ex-ESL teacher. I worked for 10 years in Germany at the international school in Germany. So I speak German and I speak Spanish and I love languages. And I used to speak fluent Swedish, but if you don't use it, I lived in Sweden for a couple of years as well. But I've always been interested in conversation, communication, linguistics, languages, because I've lived all over the world and it just comes easy to me. So I can translate, and I've done translations of books. So I can translate languages in my head in one sentence in two or three languages. And I've had to do that with my kids. Yeah.
That's
So I
amazing.
see it a little bit different. I see that creative side really, really clearly and very crystal clear. So for me, build, engage, sell just made sense. Like, why would I make it more difficult for people? I needed to make it simple for me because that's how I saw it. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. I can't sell to someone I'm not engaging with. I can't sell to someone I don't know. So I got to know them to engage with them so I can sell to them if the time arises.
That's good. That's very strategic too, but in a very kind and soft way. It's not like chasing and like, just keep, hammering somebody and they're like, I don't even know you. What are you doing? Why are
Exactly. And I get hammered many times a day as you do. So
you
it does happen. It's out there. They just don't have my book yet.
Yes. You know what? The people that hammer you, like, you should read my book. I
Right.
highly suggest you go get a
Aw,
copy. And then once you read it, come back to me and maybe I'll consider it.
that's funny. Yeah. Well, I'm here to serve at so many levels. Um you don't know what you don't know. Let's just go from there. If you don't know how, you don't know how. And that's what I'm here to teach you, that organic conversation, simplicity, easily and very effective ways of sharing your message. And it's just from a heart centered because it has to be about transformation, not transactional. It has to be a
Mm.
transformational conversation and not a transactional one. And now you are speaking with your person, and that's when their relationship starts to flourish.
Yeah, and that's what makes you so different than other coaches because or teachers, because you actually truly care. Like what you said, it's not transactional. Yeah,
Right. Thank
that's
you.
so
Yeah.
true. That's the key. And a
Mhm.
lot of entrepreneurs nowadays in coaching or whatnot, there's just very transactional. They're like, okay, sales, 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 sales. How am I going to get sales today? And like
Right.
they get you through a sales sequence, and I'm like, okay, I see that. Yes, the language, but they don't really capture me because I
Mhm.
never met you. You're just selling to
Right.
me. You're just selling.
That part right there. So the nurturing of the relationship has not been, it's not solid. So you have to earn the right to
Yeah.
offer your offer. You
Mm.
have to earn that right, and that takes time. That's commitment, passion, purpose, and a lot of dedication to do that over and over and over again. And when it's the right time, you'll know when it's the right time through the language of conversation.
Aw, but see, you're coming from a kind heart because you truly want to help instead of, it's like a numbers game or whatever sales
Right,
point
right.
of view. And The thing is, people just want it instantaneously if they're selling, right? Like they're like, I want to make a sale right now. I'm going to make it happen. And that's like the wrong mindset, but a lot of people are taught this to go that route.
That
And
is so true because I have even when I'm coaching, yeah, but I got to get. I said, well, we need to lose that right now because that's not going to help you. Now you're coming from a place of starvation. Now you're coming from a place of zero energy for your prospect, and it's just going to transfer. So you can't just, I know you need to get, I know you want to have a team. I know you want to get a sale, but get a person, that's not the language of sales. Sales is the transfer of information, validation, motivation, education from you to the person that is in front of you. And it's done only through conversation.
yeah, that's so true. But what if you're an introvert and you're not very good at conversation and you're like, I have to talk to somebody and sell them? Like what's a good tip for someone who's an introvert?
Well, I know a lot of introverts who are doing very, very well. They will find their language, they will find their tone, they will find their path. They might not be good at everything. Maybe they don't want to go live or they don't want to create something big and bold on social media, but they will find a way because they have to talk to the person, to come out of their shell a little bit. And everybody's going to be different. So they are really going to work within themselves. Okay, they might have this self-talk. They might say, okay, so I know I need to do this. It might just take a little bit longer, and that's okay. So they're willing to trip over whatever it is they need to trip over to get there. So I think it's just time. I think it's just time. And the commitment is still the passion that they don't want to give up. That's not in them even though they feel like, they're unworthy or they can't, or they have this feeling of self-doubt overrides them more than anybody else. It just might take a little bit longer. And once they start to see that they can, they will. That's when the little kick habits start to kick in.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I really believe that. That's true. And with anything, though, anything new you start, you're not going to be
Yeah.
good at it and you're going to be
No.
scared and fearful. And you're always going to have to come out of your shell or comfort zone of some sort
Yeah.
or what. So
Well, I mean, remember when we were riding the bike and the training wheels were on, and all of a sudden the training wheels have to go off? It's like, really? And then you fall, and then you get up and you do it again. Like we've all told our kids, do it again, right? So that's exactly where we are with social media. Like you have to go through it to go through it, period. You
yeah,
have to go through it.
yeah. And again, it's easier to do it with somebody who's been there, who's done that. And
A little bit, just 1 inch ahead of you, just a little bit easier. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
but it makes life easier instead of chasing like what you talked about energy. And I love how you talk about energy in your
Mhm.
teaching because I really believe that energy is how you're going to attract your clientele. Like you can feel someone if they're pressuring you and you can just feel it. You're just like, I don't like this. No, Or like if they're truly loving and kind like you are and how we talk, you can just see it and feel like the compassion, the love, and it's just the feeling that you get. And I think that is such a powerful tool. So start noticing like the energy that you're putting out too. That's important as well.
Very important. And it does, like you said, it does come across rather quickly. And don't forget, Kathy, first impressions are lasting ones.
Ooh, that's right. That's true.
So, what kind of impression do you want to leave? Your brand, let's go back to that. Your brand is how you make people feel when you're in the room and when you leave the room.
That's good. That gave me chills when you said that. That's so true.
But it's true. Think about it. What kind of an impression do you want to leave?
Yeah, that's really true. I'm like, I want to leave a good impression. That's for sure. And if you're especially a heart-centered entrepreneur or you really care about others,
Yeah,
you're
and you
empathetic.
do.
Yeah.
Coming from that standpoint, Kathy, you will, you do. You just have that. And like I said, your brand is that how you make someone feel and they remember you and you've made an impact on their life in some capacity, in some way. You've helped them in some manner. Doesn't matter how big or how small, it matters that you did. And then that's the impression. And when you can do that on social media over and over and over again, right? This is the attraction factor. This is the attraction marketing piece of it.
I love that. Attracting. Attracting is such a powerful tool.
It
Like you
is.
said earlier, you don't want to chase or you don't want to be in that desperation. Like
No,
I need clients. Usually that's what people say, or I need this, or
that's right. Right.
it's like, no, you got to watch what you say because that's really your mindset. And your
Mhm.
mindset is stuck in that lack. And you have to shift that perspective of like, no, who are you? You are amazing. And then you will attract whoever's supposed to come into your life.
Whoever, and that's the key word. Whoever is meant to be will be.
I love that. So, what's one major mindset shift that helped you grow not just your business, but your confidence as a leader?
Great question.
Yeah.
So the mindset shift, I've always been positive. So I pour into the day with a cup of positivity. I have that branded to me and I say that so often. Pouring into the day from a cup of positivity. I think it's just because I'm so fueled and I'm so passionate about what I do and why I do what I do that I don't get up and worry about it. I just get up and I do. And I think it's just the fuel in me, the fire in me forever and ever, as long as I can remember. And I'm able to live that daily without wavering, without going left or right. It's just in me. It's just planted. I planted that seed and now I'm growing.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. And it does take a lot of self awareness to do this work to like really become a leader, which you are, and you're leading with love and kindness and help. Like that's like I think that's being super accomplished already because you can go a different route, which is not the right way or the best
Right.
way. I mean, there is no right way, but the best
Right.
way that I would prefer. You know, I'm not going to speak for
Well,
other people, but
aw,
usually the listeners who are listening are very similar to me, and
yes.
mindset. So yeah, coming from like that really positive aspect though. And did you always grow up being super positive? Because I know growing up, I was a very pessimistic person, and
Hmm.
I don't I don't know. I guess I was positive, but then I would perceive things always negatively in the end. Like it's
Okay.
so hard for me. Like being stuck in that victim mentality because that's
Oh,
what
okay.
we're taught, like, gosh, why is my life so hard? Or why is this or that? Like kind of complaining in that type of
Right. Interesting.
energy, which a lot of us are. We're taught to be
Yeah,
that
for
way.
sure. For sure.
So how'd you become so positive in that sense? Because that's something I had to overcome. And now it's like,
Yeah.
now I know about energy. I'm like, okay, I gotta change my energy.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think for as long as I've known, I've always been positive. I've always been a go-getter. I've always said yes and I'll figure it out. Was it intimidating? Of course, but I'll always say yes, right? I don't know what I don't know, but if I'm willing to go there and I'll figure it out, I'll say yes. Like I didn't know how to write a book. I had to learn the aspects. I needed to learn who I would needed to trust so that I can write this book. And I had to trust myself, never being an author before. Okay, so what are the steps that I need to take? Well, you can do this because it's all figure outable. So I instilled that in my kids at a very young age, and they're just doing amazing today because of that fuel that I set for them really early. Like there are no excuses. Why do we need to? Let's find a reason we can, and not a reason why we can't.
Mm.
So I found the reason why I can write the book, and I figured it out, and I did it through trial and error and late nights. But then, in the reward, well, I did it, and amazing, and I feel so great about it. And now I can share that with those who would like this tool. And yeah, so that's basically where it came from for me.
Wow, thank you for sharing that because it's really helpful to see other people's perspective because you just never know. And I may be looking at things, right, like more negatively. And it's just so fascinating that you can see everything as, okay, I can figure it out. But then for my old mindset, it's like, I can't figure it out. It's too hard. It's too hard. I'm not
Right.
going to do it. And
Right.
then you just,
And that is a mindset of many. And I'm not saying it came easy. And there were late nights. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to quit. No, you can't quit, Heather. Yes, you can. No, you can't. So you have that inner battle, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
why the heck did I start this? If I want, why would I want to stop when I started? I just got to start all over again. I don't want to start all over again. I will figure it out. I will ask the right questions. And this is what I encourage my students to do. If you don't know, ask. You will figure it out. If it's something you haven't done before, great, embrace it. And if it scares you, then you need to do it. And that's exactly the tipping point. And that can be the aha moment. Many people quit before the aha moments,
Ooh, that is so true. That is so true because people just easily give up and they're just like, nope, I'm
right?
gonna figure it out. But no, you can really figure it out.
Yeah.
Whatever you put your mind to, you just have to be patient enough to wait it out until you
Yeah.
figure it out.
And it will feel good. I mean, think about how you would feel, Kathy, after you said no to yourself and then you accomplished that. I said no to the book twice, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then the door opens and there's my Amazon KDP author books. And it's like amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this really happened. And I'm holding a box of my books. Like it's amazing. It's just that fulfillment, right? So I did this and I accomplished this because we can figure it out. And as women, we can figure it out. As men, we can figure it out. Sometimes it takes longer, but there's always a step and there's always someone there willing to help you. And that's why I love what I do.
Oh, I love how you have that mindset of like, there is someone out there willing to help you. And that kind of brings tears into my eyes because, again, when you're being an entrepreneur or like you're doing this thing on your own, like I
Yeah.
did, I literally
Yeah.
started my business on my own. I just felt alone. I felt like everybody
You're
was
right.
just trying to take from me,
Right.
never truly wanting to help. And
Wow.
then, yeah, it felt like a dog eat dog world. Right? So like you just keep signing up for stuff, thinking that that's going to be the change, that's going to
That's
be
going to
the
be the
really
ticket.
real help,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it can be lonely and scary at that point, right? Like you said, you were doing it yourself, I'm doing it myself. And until we get smarter and we bring on someone to help us, or if we don't know something, be okay with asking. Be okay with asking, right? And because nobody wants to go through this alone. And when I'm talking to so many women who feel that they can't build a brand, they can't build a business from home in pockets of their time, let me show you how you can do it. Let me show you how you can do it because you can. It might be take you a little bit longer. Yes, you're going to have fears, but together we can work through that. And that's what you're doing with your business as well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm trying. It's been a long time coming. I already started my business in 2021 during COVID, and then
Yeah.
yeah, COVID, I feel like coaching like blew up during that time.
Right. It did. Yeah, for sure it did.
And so I didn't really start going hardcore into my business until I had my daughter, and she was like my
Mhm.
reason why. But man, I've had like 10 times where I was gonna give up, and I was like, I can't do it.
Ah.
I'm a new mom. Like this is not worth my time. But then I kept going because I kept looking at her, and I was like, no, I have to keep going. I mean, I started, so I better keep going.
That's right. And that's it. So you started, so why quit now? You're just going to have to start over again. So you've had so many lessons along your entrepreneurial journey, right? And we all do. And that lesson has brought you to where you are today. And it's made you. So if you look back at what you have really done, it's extraordinary because we all started from zero.
True. Oh my
And
gosh.
now we are able to share that hero story to today. It's not over, but we're able to share that hero story to today. And you got to keep going,
Mm.
right?
I love that. I don't think I fully reflected on how much I've done because as an entrepreneur, you're always on the go. You're always looking
Yeah,
at the big picture of like,
yeah.
what you want to accomplish. But that's a great, great thing to actually do.
Self-reflection, like you want to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I really did that. Okay, it took me 2 years, but so what? What else would you have done? Right? Where else would you have put your energy? Where would you be working? What would you be doing? If this fuels you and it lights you up and you like to share it with people, then you're in the right spot. Sorry, you just
Mm.
are.
Yeah, man, you make me feel so inspired. Like I want to go and
Oh my
jump
goodness.
up and do something right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe that's why my students are like, okay, Heather, I gotta go. I gotta do this. And then they're
Yeah,
just,
you're pumping me up and you just naturally
oh,
do this. Like you're
thank
just so
you.
inspiring and you always come from it in a very loving kind way, which is even more amazing. And
Thank you.
like literally that's a separate tool and a gift that you give, So it's so beautiful. But yes, thank you for today though. It was so inspiring and this is why it truly makes you so different. You have a gift, you have a talent, and you inspire people in such a loving way. And you're my big inspiration.
Oh my
I'll be
goodness.
honored to work with you one of these days, which will happen. I just don't know when.
Oh
Letting the
my goodness.
universe lead me, like, there is a reason why we're connected.
Yeah, and it's been an honor, and I'm so glad that we've had so many coffee chats,
I
right? And we've
know.
been able to inspire one another and help. And just thank you for your gift, and thank you for caring the way that you do, and allowing me to share mine here with you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, honey. Yes. Shh. But last but not least, where can people connect with you or find more about you and your amazing work? I'll also put the show note or your links in the show notes below. But if you can just say it just in case.
Yeah. So I'm on Facebook. I have a private community. I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Instagram. So you can absolutely find me. So yeah, I will get you those links. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course. Sorry for my daughter interrupting our recording, but she made an entrance. Thank you. But I can't wait for this episode to come out, and it was such an honor to have you, honestly.
Oh,
I'm so excited to really air this and to have people hear your knowledge and your story and your amazingness.
oh my goodness. Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to inspire those women who think they can't. You can. So thanks for the opportunity again, Kathy.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.